All right, agenda item number 10, discussion and performance evaluation of the wastewater superintendent. The context of this agenda item has been changing over the weekend certainly since this meeting agenda was published. And just prior to the meeting coming down here, I got a phone call being informed that that Darrin Smith has resigned. The formal letter of resignation hasn't been received, but that's expected to happen soon. Also, just for information, since end of last week, Thursday or Friday, Alex Volkov, city staff, has been serving as the interim wastewater superintendent. And so I believe that the closed session is unnecessary, and the actions that remain with regard to this agenda item are best focused on our approval of that interim appointment with some specific details in place. In conversation with Mayor Peterson and staff today, there was general agreement that an appropriate motion might include an amount of pay and general terms of employment as interim wastewater superintendent. The most efficient way to do that might be the payment amount and to make reference to the terms of employment being as laid out, other than compensation, within the last employment agreement with Darrin Smith for that position. The amount of salary that was recommended by the mayor and the staff was $54,500 for this interim position on an annual salary basis. So that's sort of a quick and dirty summary, trying to outline the history, where we are, the decisions and actions we might best take, and some specific details. That said, is there some discussion about this?
Yeah, concerning Volkov?
Yes.
Is that something that we're going to have to postpone until the next agenda?
I don't see any reason why we would. Do you have some specific?
Well, because I don't see anything really specifically identified in the agenda, unless that comes
Possible action related to the position.
Okay.
I think is generally interpreted to mean that we could take action on it.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
What my question is there, I don't want to say this. My understanding is on Friday, Alex was internally appointed by the mayor, and correct me if I say anything wrong, to be the acting wastewater superintendent. Do we need to take any action to codify that or support it, or is that just sufficient in and of itself?
Well, it was recommended that we take some action along those lines by the mayor. Mike, do you have a?
Yes, it was recommended, and as a follow-up to that, of course, the adjustment in the salary, he would be receiving compensation now $54,500. He would be the acting wastewater superintendent. He would not be a member of the board any longer.
Okay, so that now it becomes a big issue real quick, correct? Okay, so now there's a reason to act now as opposed to saying, let's put this off for 2 weeks, let everything stay where it is, let's get the letter of resignation in hand.
Yeah, that's what
That's what my concern is, before we go changing salaries, and we can always back pay based upon the date of actual technology.
You could do it that way, but Darrin Smith was suspended, and so at that point, he's not functioning. We need to have somebody in that position. I think that wrapping up the details related to his resignation is a pretty straightforward process in terms of compensation, et cetera. But most important, I think, is that we, in terms of compensation and responsibilities, make some kind of take an official action regarding that, just to make sure that Alex is getting what he is due as he functions in that position.
And it'll make the DNR happy.
And certainly the DNR has some interest in us having somebody officially in this position. So are there other comments from the Personnel and Administration Committee?
No, I agree. I think we should move forward tonight, at least on the things that we can.
Yeah, and I just want to say that I think we're really fortunate to have someone in the wings in this way. This would be a really critical situation
Yep.
for us if we didn't.
Right, yeah, and just to state, all here within this discussion, for Alex Volkov to serve in this position, we've received conditional approval from the DNR, given that he is accelerating education and certification that remains for him to go from grade 2 to grade 3 in wastewater.
Correct. And how much was the salary?
$54,500 annually.
I make a motion to appoint Alex Volkov as the interim wastewater superintendent, effective Friday, January 18th, with an annual salary of $54,500.
Second.
Is there further discussion? I might offer a friendly amendment.
Go right ahead. You can see how quick I wrote that out.
And under all terms.
Under the same
Of
terms
the
as
previous.
under the same terms as the previous wastewater superintendent contract.
Now, the contract that's in place right now for Darrin Smith is for 35 hours a week at a reduced
7/8.
salary, 7/8, yeah, so you might want to make sure and amend that to,
Why don't
Darrin's a
why don't we
very good
just leave that off for
contract.
now, and we'll deal with the contract issue in 2 weeks.
Or you could address it in an extension of your friendly amendment. That amendment should get a motion.
Well, I think we already have a salary of $54,500 at 40 hours a week.
We just referenced the original contract, not the amended one back in November.
Oh, the original, yes.
Sure.
Do you have a motion written that you feel comfortable with?
I don't want to be too dictated.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the person who really matters.
I do.
You want me to try again? All righty. I'm going to withdraw that motion. I'm going to make another motion if that's appropriate,
Yes.
with no
yes.
objection.
Thank you for your points.
Occasionally my Robert's Rules of Orders comes out. Anyway, I make a motion to appoint Alex Volkov as interim wastewater superintendent at a salary of $54,500 annually for 40, based on 40 hours per week, and the original under the terms of the original wastewater superintendent contract.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jamie. Any further discussion? Thanks very much for dealing with the complication of motion. And I think this would be a simple voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes all.